Do you have a device filled with games from back when that you spent absolutely ages customizing and curating and modifying till it was just perfect, only to toss it to the side as you fantasize about the next trinket that you will do the same to again? I call this process distractivity. It's due to the thrill of spending, waiting, anticipating, tweaking, speaking with those who are wallowing in the same addiction and validate your process and purchase without ever taking time out to reflect on what truly is powering this type of ignorance. The first thing is these companies launch half-baked products knowing the community will fix them and that the consumers will buy regardless. A lot of them are intentionally made unfit for purpose so they can sell incremental upgrades, as they know that the price doesn't make people think before spending, as it's not really a big investment and the cost to benefit ratio of retail therapy is immense. Another thing is that these YouTubers are not your friends. No matter how much of this "oh shucks guys" persona they present themselves as, it's a business. This is their livelihood, which is why they very rarely speak on the negatives. They're basically just new age infomercials with a personalized twist, but an identical model on the back end. What really is happening here through all of this is that your inner child is screaming for your attention. The gaming era you often pick is a hint of what you should address. Allow me to read you a flow that I penned. We fill ourselves with distraction in order to prevent action on that which we know is important. This hobby, much like the rest that proliferate this sight-colored red, is actually an attempt to spend away the pain most will dare not fix. It's all good, my friend. It's just you and me, so you can admit it. Buy, categorize, streamline, opine, stand in line and do it again, and again, and again, and again. When does this quest end? Well, let me tell. The instant you click that retro gaming is actually calling your attention to a time back when that needs to be addressed in the present moment. This is why the thrill fades. This is why you invest in chasing that which will never, ever bring that sense of completion you feel is otherwise lacking. Listen, don't think that I'm a hater of chunky pixels and retro aesthetics. Quite the opposite. But it was during another fool's errand that I had a moment of clarity which said, you escaped into worlds virtual back when, in order to transcend the madness that otherwise would have drove you insane, for your developing brain was not equipped to make sense of all of this yet. Your narrative may be different or identical, but unless you glance within and not after the next trinket, how will you be able to tell? I developed a method that helped me to do just this, and it really is quite spiff, as it inspired me to pen an ode to failed attempts at healing the child within via the use of modern retro tech that you have just been reading. Really stop and think about what I said, my friend, and tell me if it makes any sense. Or have you too clicked that the thrill of anticipation and the rest rapidly dims after your latest acquisition? And then you do it again. Is that the definition of madness? Do you know what the best part is? After healing and relinking with me from back when, he's more than satisfied with the device I already possess, as his mind is doing backflips at the immense progress and selection as well. Plus, gaming is super fun again, as I'm not chasing a feeling. I'm simply being instead. Till we meet again. What do you think? See, the truth of the matter is modern games are whack from a purely fun perspective, as it's just more shiny with no real shift to the underlying mechanics, which are often much worse for their implementation. Not to mention things like DLC gouging, loot box pimping, unfinished games, and all of the things they cram into the story for social engineering. Kill that noise. Once your inner child is relinked, you'll find that any of the devices you possess is absolutely perfect, as they're simply thrilled you're finally communicating, and what you've got in your grip is way beyond their wildest imaginings, and life becomes much more fun again. I personally realized this when I'd bought a device, pimped it, invested in something more powerful, did the same, and once it was perfect, I was looking for my next target. That's when it clicked. I spoke to my inner child about it, what made me retreat into the world of gaming back when, and we spoke about it at depth, and thus exorcised the demons from the shadow's depth. Use the video that I've linked, as that shows you the technique and the method of how to access your inner realms, and all it takes is a candle, a notepad, 2 pens, and some scent. The amazing thing is once you've done this, you will comprehend that what you can see, you don't have to be. The trick is spotting it. Like, how can you be the voice in your head when you're obviously that which listens? Really consider what I've said, my friend. Then take some time off Reddit, sanitize your feed for a bit, get uncomfortable, and feel into the sensation with no escapism. Then push the pen after lighting the candle, like I said in the vid. The dividends are quite immense, and the potential savings will reflect in not only a bigger bank balance, but an increased sense of contentedness instead of another bootless quest which is secretly underpinned with a "when I get X, then I will finally be good enough" mindset. This can be applied to pretty much anything in this realm, as it's big business's dirty little secret that makes the tills ring. Try the opposite, and you may just notice exactly how rich you are in the present moment by first admitting your emotional impoverishment, which is what all of this attempts to address by circumventing. The false self really is a clever thing, and your greatest opponent in this realm when it comes to self-realization. Anyway, this is just a quick vid based upon my own observations and impairments. If you do give it a spin, I'd be interested in hearing to see what you find. Till we meet again.